YouTube, what's going on? Hi. How's everyone doing? How's your week going? Hopefully excellent. Welcome back to another video. We're doing a tier list. I've just been like sitting doing nothing. I've just been on TikTok for about an hour and I was like, you know what? We should do a YouTube video because I'm doing nothing else. It's been a long day. I topped off a bottle of wine like less than 12 hours ago and then had like a 2 hour nap and then woke up and went for an interview but like walked there because I'm trying to be healthy or whatever. Because I've been a vegetable for a year, so I'm trying to make up the steps and shit. I don't know. It's like an hour walk there and then like an hour walk back. And it was in that awkward middle shitty summer temperature where it's like, hey, it's not quite warm enough to just go t-shirt, but then it's too warm to, like, I'll put a hoodie on. Do I put a jacket on? So I put the jacket on and melted. Not really, but it was like quite warm. I did the inside ones. I did the inside ones in another video. I'll link that in the description if you want to see it. And I said I'd do the rest in another video. Time check. I don't have an hour, so I don't know why I'm recording this now. Maybe I'll do a part 3. I don't know. Yeah, I'll do a part 3. We'll just do a part 3. Let's do all of like the extra shit. Okay, let's do the main shows today, and then I'll come back and do all the extra shit. So let's do, obviously we did Inside, if you want to see that link in the description. I'm just seeing if my opinion's changed in like the last few weeks. Jeffrey, unpaid into FaceTime. Welcome to the, no, that's probably about right. Funny Feeling is my favourite one on the album now. I think when I made this it was All Eyes on Me, but I think it's Funny Feeling now. Let's do What, and then let's do Make Happy, and then we'll do all like the bonus, we'll do all like the YouTube stuff and then like the bonus tracks like Nerds and stuff in another episode, because I started recording and then realized I don't have like a full hour. Oh, actually maybe I do. Dude, I talk so much shit. Let's just see. Dude, I'm going with the flow. Who cares, man? Let's just go with the flow. Okay, so we're starting with Intro to What. As far as listenability goes, you know, you're not playing that on the aux. However, this is a really good intro. Well, obviously, What doesn't have an album anyway. No, it does, doesn't it? Because that's where the bonus shit doesn't matter. Whatever. I really like the intro to What. I think it's goofy, it's wacky, it's like it's a bit fun. There are some good bits in there, some good little jokes in there. I think it's a good introduction to the show, and I like the way he kind of just like cuts it off really abruptly at the end. I think it's nice. I think it shows his breadth as a comedian. You know, he can do stand-up bits, he can do musical comedic songs, but then in this he's like miming for half of it, right? He's like, I think it kind of shows off what he can do, and I think I don't know, I like this. It's good. As far as an intro goes, you know, I'm gonna slap it at the B tier. As far as overall goes, as far as an intro goes, I think it does its job. That's like an A tier intro. I think it does its job quite well. And I think it sets the tone quite well. It's a bit of like a goofy, wacky, all over the place show, versus something like Make Happy, where the intro starts on a slightly more serious tone, so you know that it's going to kind of go somewhere in a slightly more serious front. This one's a bit more goofy and wacky, and I think it sets the tone quite well. A World on Fire, look, it's good, it's funny, it's a good joke, but like, what am I gonna do? Put A World on Fire? If we're calling C like the middle of like average, I'm not insulting A World on Fire. It's good, but we've got to, you know, we've got to respect the bell curve a little bit. It's, you know, it is what it is. Sad is like really good. Sad's like A tier for me. Sad's like if someone wanted like a basic introduction to Bo, wanted to know what he's all about without getting into, you know, too serious into like the more introspective, existential stuff on Inside or the end of Make Happy. If you wanted to know what Bo's style is about, what sort of things he does, I think Sad's a good example of that. It's funny. It's well written. It's packed full of punchlines. I really like Sad, and Sad was probably one of the first. I think what was the first special of Bo's I watched. That was how I got into Bo, was when What came out. I was like, I heard all the hype about it, and that's what made me. I was like, I'll go watch What and see what all the hype is about, and then I went back and watched other stuff. And Sad definitely was like the first song that really was like, oh, this is funny as hell. as well as like From God's Perspective was really good, I think, and Hashtag Deep I really liked. But Sad, I was like, this is funny. That's kind of like what pulled me in, and then you know you go from there. What did I do last night? What the fuck is going on? We'll give that a B for relatability. And I like it. It's just like a nice little punchline. I like that it's similar to World on Fire. It's like it's not like a song, but it's like he just uses like a little piece of music for a punchline, and it's a bit unique. It's a bit different. Like he's not doing. It's not something like Sad, or you know From God's Perspective, where it's like a comedic song. It's not something like Repeat Stuff, which is satire. It's kind of like, but it's a joke, right? It's a punchline, but in like a slightly musical format, even though it's just like the one punchline. I like that. I think that's funny. Left brain, right brain is really interesting to me. I really like left brain. It's also the hardest thing to say ever, apparently. I really like left brain, right brain, and again, watching both for the first time as someone who watched what as like the introductions about, I was like, oh, this dude's got something a bit different about him. And I think it's interesting the way he kind of uses it to tell the story of how he got into comedy. It's got some punchlines in there, but it's also kind of got like a point to it and a purpose to it. I'm rocking with it. And again, I like the switch between the two characters, but you can still kind of like tell what he's playing and stuff. Kind of got that like theatrical side to him. I'm into it. Hashtag Deep, I loved when I first heard it. For whatever reason, the like, if life makes you wish you were dead, just put on a good movie and probably put a bullet in your head. When I first heard that, I was like, whoa, dude. People can just like say shit like that. That's crazy. I really like the piano on that one. Hashtag Deep and From God's Perspective, I love the piano on. I love the way Bo plays a lot of his songs. I've learned Art Is Dead is my favourite song of his, and I love the piano on that. Is just pristine, elegant. Is that on here? Oh, you better be, right? Yeah, here we go. Oh, I just realised I said I'd do the main shows and then just, like, completely glossed over words. My bad. We'll see what happens. We're making good progress. I, really like Hashtag Deep. It was a bit timely. It was a bit, like emblematic of 2016. Make Happy was 15. I felt like it was very good at the time, and it was like that was the sort of thing that was going on at the time, like fake deepness and shit like that. But I still think it aged well, and I just love it personally. I just love it. I just love this one. Beating Off in A minor. Again, it's yeah, I don't know. I like it. I think that I don't think it's anything crazy. But you know, obviously listenability. There's no. He's miming again. He's acting. As far as like a bow piece goes, again, shows off his range a little bit. The way he kind of and I think his timing's excellent. Like the way he like, not just with this, but like with the intro on What as well, and like and We Think We Know You at the end of What. He does this a lot in What. His timing with his like musical accompaniments or his audio accompaniments is exquisite. It's funny. The punchline's relatively straightforward though. Like I like it. I think it's funny. And then obviously like the title of the track leads to another punchline. So it kind of plays off it a little bit. But the punchline, I think it's quite like a long bit for what is quite a straightforward. Hey, I'm jacking off, and then like then like I'm sad about it. You know what I mean? Like it's funny, but then it's kind of like I feel like it's nothing too crazy. But it's quite like a long chunk. It's like a good couple minutes or so. In what's quite a fast-paced show, just for like the one little, you know. So I think we'll put that. Damn man, do I need to be ruthless? I think I need to be ruthless because I'm just gonna have too many B's and C's. So I'm gonna say it's too long for too simple of a punchline. I feel bad. I feel bad saying that, but we're gonna have so many B's. There's probably gonna be no F's. I'm gonna be honest. From God's Perspective, is so good. The lead into this. You know, I don't want people to think that like you know it's all an act to play. I don't want people to think that I'm better than you or that I know better than you. Anyway, here's a song from the perspective of God. Do 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 do. That was Hashtag Deep, by the way. That wasn't From God's Perspective, but you know what I mean. The one that he starts playing. I like it. I like it's because it's funny. He does that bow thing. It's funny. There's punchlines, and then at the end he gets a little bit more little bit. He makes a point. He makes a point at the end. He pulls you in. You're listening. You're laughing. You're having a good time. And he's like, "Oh, here's a point, by the way. Maybe the lover's got to come from you. You know." I like it. It's funny. I don't know what else to say. There's good punchlines. The Deli Aisle punchline, the one about how I shouldn't have to tell you not to rape people, just like don't rape people. But then yeah, a little point at the end. Gets a bit somber, gets a bit real. One of my favourites for sure. This is a great one. Ooh, you know what? I'm looking at S, man. I'm looking at S, and I'm almost like, yo, boys could be moved up here. I'm like scanning. I'm thinking for the future. I'm just gonna tell you right now. Art is Dead's S. I'm going to put sad in S tier. I'm going to put deep in S tier. I'm going to put sad in S tier. I'm putting from God's perspective in S tier. I'm putting deep in A tier. I'm just going to say it. The A tier will fill out. And part of this is like bell curve bias. If you've seen my tier list before, you know that I'm a slut for the bell curve and I like to keep it within that, even though it shouldn't matter. But I know that A is going to fill out and B and C are going to fill out. So I'm like, yes, they deserve S. These are good Bo Burnham songs. They deserve S. Where are we up to? Repeat stuff. I like repeat stuff. It's nothing crazy to me. I think it's the story of. I was gonna tell a story about beating off in A minor. We were playing. This is part of. This maybe gives it bonus points, although to be fair, I put it in D, so I guess it didn't. Playing fishbowl with some friends. And a friend of mine, friend of the channel, Make It Totter on YouTube. One of the words was Bo Burnham. And for charades, he stood up and it's charades, so he can't speak, and started beating off. And then I got Bo Burnham in an instant because we were on that Bo Burnham wavelength, and I was like, it's beating off in A minor, it's Bo Burnham. So I got it because of, you know, any other context where he just stood up and started, you know, I thought it was funny. Look, I'm tired, my energy's really low, but it's a good, you know, it's a story I hold close to my heart. It was a real bonding moment. Where was I up to? High school party, senior year, boys and girls are all sipping on bit. That's not where I was up to. High school party, girl. Oh, Bo, we think we know you. Did I get to the last from God's perspective? Was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about repeat stuff. I knew I was talking about Summit. Yeah, repeat stuff's good. Again, very relevant at the time. Although to be fair, it's not like pop has changed much in the past 6 years since this came out. The story of the fact that Justin Bieber was like at one of his concerts and it was like low-key about him or like music like his, music adjacent to his. That's a funny story. I like the bit when he's like, you know. I like it. I like it. I like the joke, and you know, again, he does that thing where it's like it's a satire. There's like jokes and stuff, but then there's still like a bit of a point to it about you know, 'cause our little girl is in love, doo, and how can love be wrong? How can love be wrong? But I don't want to go too crazy with it. It was no, you know, it wasn't one that blew me away. But then I still feel like it's a good it's quite an accessible Bo song, and it's a good one. The quality is still up there enough. But just on like a personal note, I just prefer, you know, deep and sad and stuff. But it's a good song. We Think We Know You. The problem with We Think We Know You, I'm gonna whack this up. I'm gonna put this at A tier. The problem with We Think We Know You is that as far as an outro goes, for what, it was very good and I really liked it. But the problem is, Make Happy happened, and Can't Handle This happened, and just blew like any show outro out of the water. You can't compete with Can't Handle This / Are You Happy afterwards. They're just so fucking good. So We Think We Know You is really good, but now I can't help but compare We Think We Know You as an outro to Can't Handle This, and just, there's a little bit of a disparity there. But I think We Think We Know You in isolation, I think it's still pretty good. I think it sets a seed as well, as far as that sort of, why can I only think of the word parametric? Parasocial, the parasocial relationship, and which is something that he talks about almost in the outro of Make Happy. He talks about, you know, I can talk about all my biggest problems, Pringle cans. The truth is my biggest problems with you. I want to please you, but I want to stay true to myself. I want to give you the night that you deserve, but I want to say what I think and not care what you think about it. That his relationship with his audience, obviously it's slightly different because it's the specific characters in that one that he's playing off of in his life. but I think it sets the seed of that like relationship with his audience or people who, I mean, it literally says we think we know you, they don't, and he talks about, you know, it's like what he says before, from God's perspective, you know, him on stage isn't him as a person, it's he's acting, it's a persona, like he says in Art is Dead, he's wearing makeup, you know what I mean? Like, it's been a theme that's been consistent throughout his career, and that's something I love about Bo, is a lot of the themes that have been consistent all the way through, to talk about wearing makeup in Art is Dead, and then, you know, the thing before God's perspective, and then we think we know you, and then to talk about the audience singing, you know, can't handle this. Like, he kept that going throughout, and I think that was kind of, we think we know you as far as that arc, or that theme in his career. I think we think we know you is quite an important part of that. Alright, we're back. We zoomed through that a little quicker than I thought I did. What? So we'll do Make Happy, we'll do Words, we'll see where we are. Maybe I'll throw the bonuses in really quick at the end. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a sneaky little part 3 at a later date. For now, though, let's do Make Happy, because I said I was going to do it next, even though we forgot about all of Words. But Words is just like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And oboe, I guess? Okay, we'll do Make Happy. Right, intro, Make Happy. Love this intro. The world is not funny. Sets the tone very well. The call and response thing is kind of funny. I like when he says, I wish I could tell you everything's gonna be fine. You want to be happy, we'll get in line. And then the whole bit about, you know, I don't know why I'm here, I should be funny, etc. You paid money, I should be funny, etc., etc. I like that bit. I like that it's kind of like, you know, it's funny. It's a little back and forth. He's doing his thing. He's getting a little crazy. He says himself, you ain't never seen a comedy show like this in your life. And there's a good reason for that. It gets old really quick or whatever. That's the ice cream van. I'm just going to brute force through it. Who cares? What was I saying? I like it. I think it gives a good taster of something different as far as a comedy show goes. But again, it's a good taster of what Bo's about and what his show's about. And then the way he wraps it up at the end, where he's like, "Let's get this show going. Let's get this show started. 4, 3, 2, 1." So I was at the dentist the other day. He's funny. It's funny. I like it. It sets a good standard for the show, both comedically, but also with like the little introspective moments. Like the way in the song, he's like, "Hey, here's some jokes. Here's some jokes. Here's some jokes. Oh, let's get a little introspective for a minute. Oh, and we're back to the jokes." Like, I feel like that part of the song is like a microcosm of how Bo is as a whole in something like What, or in something like Make Happy, where it's kind of that transition or those like moments of jokes versus real situations, conversations, etc. So I think this is an A-tier intro in my opinion. We had a hell of a ride. Wrong thing. Straight White Male. Straight White Male's a B-tier for me. I like it. I like the joke. I like the concept. Yeah, you know, I like a lot of the punchlines, I suppose, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't necessarily feel on the level of something like From God's Perspective or so. I think it's good. I think it's funny. Yeah. I'm trying to think compared to some of the other songs on this. Why is 3.14 Apple Pie in the middle of Make Happy? I'm trying to think. So compared to like country song, Lower Your Expectations probably up there. Kill Yourself. Oof. I mean, it's... This one has a strong case for A. I'm trying to think ahead, and look, I know I should take everything on a case-by-case basis, evaluate each song on its own merit. I'm going to leave this in B, but just know this is like bordering on A. This is high up there. I know I don't tend to rank them individually in each tier, I just throw them in the letters, but I'm going to put this one to the top of B. Although now I'm looking at like Healing the World with Comedy and like some other stuff that I think is maybe better, so actually, you know what, we're not going to do that because it sets a standard that I'm not willing to uphold. This B, but it's close to A, let me say that much. Improv song, I'm a Little Teapot, short and stout. The hip hop you can say anything as long as it's got like a cool beat. Again, I'd say that's a C tier as far as middle of the ground. It's a good joke, it's a good punchline. It's similar to something like What Did I Do Last Night, where it's kind of like the punchline is you know, it's a bit of a little, it's just a little amuse bouche. It's just a little, it's just a little. That's it, just a little. I mean, it's funny. It's a funny little moment, and I like the joke off the back of it about how a worse comedian would have milked that for 3 verses. A better comedian wouldn't have done it at all. That's funny. I like it. So it's nice. It's like the joke itself, and then he makes like a little joke off of that, and it kind of keeps the momentum of the show. Good little bit. Country song, Pandering. I have to shout out Country Song and Lower Your Expectations for bringing me millions of views on Yay Hype. Country song low, yeah. I like country song. I like the concept of it, and I think it's funny. And I've listened to a fair bit of country over the past year or so. For reasons that don't matter. And it's absolutely right. Like it's, I always feel like every genre has stereotypes, right? And I feel like you get into it, and stereotypes tend to stem from something with various genres and stuff. But a lot of the time you get into it, and it's like, oh yeah, that's not the case. I listen to a lot of hip hop, and that is, I'm very familiar with the stereotypes there. I've been getting into metal a lot over the past couple of years, and was familiar with the stereotypes there. A lot of the time, it's not the case. Country, like 90% of the songs are the exact same thing, and I say that as someone who's like really tried to listen to a lot. It is very, very, very similar. And you listen to someone like Orville Peck, who's like a brilliant storyteller, a great writer, writes about interesting things. And then I'm like, why don't more country artists do this? Why do they all just sing about like beer and like fucking, and it's like the horniest genre I've ever experienced in my life. Like people make fun of hip hop for being just about sex, but dude, I'm telling you, country music's the horniest genre. Like it's people don't realize because no one listens to it. But it really, dude, anyway. So I'm gonna put this to C. Again, that's not saying it's bad. I'm saying that's about a good, healthy middle. Because it's still funny, and like I get it, and it's well put together. It's well produced and stuff. It's good. Lower Your Expectation. I think I'm gonna put that in A. This one's like, this is similar to Straight White Male for me. Like this one, if Straight White Male, I'm like, this is a B with a case for an A. I think Lower Your Expectation is an A with a case for a B. I like it enough, and it's funny enough to me that I'm like, yeah, let's put that up here. You're right, but last week she died. The feet line's funny. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like, it's pretty simple. It's easy to get into. There's some good punchlines in there. I like the speed we're going. We got good pace on this one. Kill Yourself. It'll only take a minute. You'll be happy that you did it. But if you search for moral wisdom in Katy Perry's lyrics, man, there's a lot of teeterers in this one. I'm like, this could be a B. This could be an A. This could be a B. This could be an A. Oh, I think if there's doubt over whether it's an A, let's rock with a B. I like this one a lot. I like the bluntness. I think bluntness can be quite funny. I like the bluntness of this. I like those. Like it kind of is similar to Hashtag Deep, but it's like the evolution of Hashtag Deep. If Hashtag Deep is like playing the character of a Hashtag Deep person, Kill Yourself is like, okay, well if it's that bad, kill yourself, right? I don't know. The bluntness is kind of funny, but then he still has a little moment to be like, hey, talk to a therapist if you need to, which is a message I will absolutely always get behind. It kind of reminds me of that Black Box Recorder song where it's like, life sucks. And if you don't want to adjust, then just kill yourself. How does that song go? I don't know. But that made me laugh the first time I heard that, even though I don't think that's the point. I don't think it was supposed to, but I don't know. The bluntness is kind of funny to me. We'll stick that in B. But also, like, don't do that, by the way. Breakup song. Oh man. Breakup song is a tidy little bit. The kind of hiding behind the. You sign out now. I don't care. Hiding behind the sort of mask of like anger to try and hide the softer, more emotional side, but then finally like sneaking into it, and then the girl switches it up and is like But I don't know if the punchline quite hits just the right spot. I like the concept, and I think it's kind of funny, and I like that it's like a classic Bo thing, and it's like hey Reese, hey Future Reese, blah 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 blah. I'll forget probably. It's okay. Name was censored. You don't know who that is. Actually, that message is kind of funny. I'm going to blur it, but it said, I thought that one was funny, sad face. It was a messenger message, and it said, I thought that was funny, sad face. We're talking about something else, but it's kind of funny that I just put that in D tier, and then a message pops up that says, I thought that was Funny. Anyway, it just doesn't quite hit perfectly, I don't think, for me. And then Can't Handle This is absolutely just the S tier of S tiers. Come and watch the skinny kid with the steadily declining mental health and laugh as he attempts to give us what he cannot give himself, or watch as he attempts to give us what he cannot give himself. You know, just like the entire reason that I have been doing YouTube videos for as long as I have, and how I like made an active effort through my like teenage years and young adult years to try and develop a funny side of my personality and to try and be the funny one. In any sort of friend group or friend situation, just kind of, you know, sums up my personality perfectly, and it hits harder than just about any line maybe I've ever heard anyone say to me in my entire life. And I'm a huge Kanye fan, and if you're a Kanye fan, you'll know, I mean, even if you're not, you probably still know the idea and stuff, and he says it himself in the show. But if you're a Kanye fan, like, it's so like, and Bo, I think, must be a Kanye fan, or at least like a interested in his artistic style and what he does, because it is such like an homage to that Kanye style. Like the amount of times I've listened to Can't Handle This and then I'm like, now I want to go listen to Runaway. Like the auto-tune rant is one thing, and that's kind of the main thing, but the instrumental is like Runaway. The piano note playing throughout, the orchestra that comes in, the dunk dunk dunk. Like if you know Kanye and you know Runaway, you don't even need me to say. It's like the Runaway instrumental and the instrumental for Can't Handle This are like, it's clearly that's what, you know. And so as a Kanye fan, and Runaway is probably top 5 songs of all time for me. It's definitely my favorite Kanye song. He's one of my favorite artists, so it's probably top 5 songs of all time for me. To have this Burnham outro, which I already love anyway, the lyrical content, the presentation, the punchlines, but then to have it be based on the instrumental of one of my favorite songs of all time just makes it so much better, and the artistic style of one of my favorite artists of all time. But yeah, I like the jokes. I like the way he crafts the jokes and then transitions into the more serious note, but then comes back to the jokes, because that's again a consistent theme for Bo, is that like contrast between trying to be serious and real and getting these like, you know, issues off his chest, but also knowing that he has to be funny and he has to put a show on. So that kind of like constantly bouncing between, here's something serious, oh but here's the jokes, run it one more time. Just incredible, excellent, so good. Are You Happy? Pfft, what a closer, man. The way it kind of leaves you thinking, on a scale from 1 to 0, are you happy because you're on your own from here? And then the show ends and you're like, fuck. Oh, and at the end of Can't Handle This, when he's like, thank you, good night, I hope you're happy, and then walks off. What a fucking closing line, dude. He puts the I hope you're happy, and then he puts the mic down and walks off the stage. I know he comes back to bow, but oh my god. And then, yeah, Are You Happy? Oof. And then and there's the prelude to Inside, because obviously Are You Happy is filmed in the same room that Inside's filmed in, which I guess, I don't know if that was a prelude necessarily at the time. Maybe during Inside he kind of like referenced back to that, or it's probably maybe just a coincidence that it was, he just lives in the same house, right? But, you know, still, I like the way that linked up like that. But that, yeah, hey look, Ma, I made it, I hope you're happy. Now on a scale from 1 to 0, are you happy? And he's like, just that's on a scale from 1 to 0, are you happy? I mean, first of all, to ask just that question, are you happy? But then kind of the 1 to 0 thing, like as if it's like you're either happy or you aren't, and like boiling it down to like not the spectrum that it is, and like the way that kind of happiness feels like it gets presented, like either you, like everyone wants to be happy, but like, does that mean that either you're not happy or you are happy, or is there a spectrum there? Because there is a spectrum there, right? And I just think that it's really like to leave a comedy show thinking in the way that leaves you thinking and like staring at the wall, as is what it did to me the first time I saw it, and multiple times since. Yeah, it just hits. Right, let's zoom through what's funny. I think what's funny is good. Obviously, it's early on in his career, so he develops. He doesn't quite have the spectacle of some of the intros of his latest show, but for where he was, I think what's funny was pretty good. And welcome to the show. It goes a little bit like this. Joke, exactly. That's funny. That I was laughing my ass off the first time I heard that. I was like, that's a great little joke. And I relate to the when I was a baby, maybe I laughed at people jiggling keys, but now I'm older and bolder and just get mad because I notice that the keys are to a Hummer. Because I'm 22 and that never grew out of me. I'm not like someone goes up in my face and starts jingling keys. I'm not laughing my ass off. But for some reason, if I hear keys, like someone pick up keys behind or like in another room, my natural response is to laugh. I don't know why. I never, from a baby, I just never grew out of that. It's still there. I hear keys jiggle and I laugh and I don't know why. So that's funny to me. Against A for that. Bo for show, a born Bostonian, Ariel in the librarian, the words Smithsonian. Yes, fine. This is a lot. There's a few songs like this from early Bo where he was kind of just like rapping, and there were little punchlines here and there, and he was being a bit quirky with it. But they're good, and I used to, trust me, back when I was like 13, 14, 15, however the fuck old I was, 15, 16, I used to listen to things like these, Oboe, etc. a lot, over and over and over again. I think as I've grown up, and this is like, because this is like not the sort of stuff you do now, like at all, right? That's just maturing as a person and as an artist and a creator. I think as a listener, I guess that's just something that I've also grown with. These don't necessarily hit the same as like when I was like 16 and was like rocking with them, you know. But I like them. They're quirky. They're fun. But I think a lot of the sort of rap songs are probably going to be around the C area, I reckon. Men and Women. Men and Women's funny actually. This one felt like a good starter or like seed planter for a lot of the kind of musical comedy that we went out to do. Is, you know, songs in the similar vein as like Lowers Your Expectations or Sad or etc. etc. Those types of songs. I feel like this was a good one for that. Men and Women's funny. Yeah, Men and Women's pretty funny. I'll give it. Yeah, we'll give that one a B. Words falls into a similar situation as Bo for Show and as Oh Bo. It's one of the rap songs. The production's pretty good on this for the time as well, for himself where he was in his career. Obviously, Words is a music video as well, which is fun. Where he's like in his bedroom and then he's on a green screen and there's all sorts of shit going on and then he's back in his bedroom. Which I think was good, because obviously he started from his bedroom, he did all his songs in his bedroom, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, now I'm performing. And it felt like a nice little like keystone mark for him, that this was a song that he still did in his bedroom, but then he performed it live. And there were some other songs that he's done live that, like, you know, he did on YouTube and then ended up doing live in early shows and stuff. But I feel like this was a good little like transitionary song, and the video I think represents that nicely, because he's in his bedroom in the video, and then he goes to like all sorts of like crazy different all sorts of shit's going on, and then he's like back in his bedroom, and then that also was a song that he then not only had in his next show, and obviously he done shows and live performances and stuff, but this was kind of his first like special. So this wasn't even his first tour, I'm pretty sure, but it was his first like there was he had a tour before this, and I know he went around colleges and stuff. But as far as like a presented special, is what Words was, or like a feature thing, to use this as like the title track and to have this, it felt like a good like marker for that transition from bedroom Bo to, you know, what he went on to do. I like Rant. Rant's definitely B for me. I'm tempted to put it A, but I think I just like the sound of it, and it has the same sample as a Lupe Fiasco song. Prisoner 1 and 2, is that the name of the song? I like it, and he says, he was around Catholicism a lot as a young age, and the same for me. I'm a Catholic, but then, you know, there's like back and forth there, and like pulling and like, you know, blah blah blah, and obviously Bo went more in the direction of non-religious. I think I just like the presentation of this one. I like the instrumental. Obviously, it's relatively straightforward. It's kind of just that sample and looped over and over with some like snares and kicks every now and then, or kicks mostly. It's pretty straightforward, but I like it. But I like his flow on this one. I like his poetry style and the way he writes on this song. And it's just like a bit of a change of pace in the middle of the show. It's something a bit different. Art is Dead is my favourite Bo Burnham song of all time. I absolutely love it, and it's something that the general sentiment I just agree with massively, and just the idea. And I have this issue myself, and I've talked about this in videos. I don't need to go into this too much of that kind of dilemma of wanting to do, even on a much smaller scale than the scale of Bo, even at this time in his career, when he first wrote this, which was still relatively early in his career. And I think it's one that's important for Bo as well, because he performed this for like 6 years or something. But yeah, even for me on a much smaller scale, that's something I battle with. Like, I've been on the edge of launching a Patreon on my on my reaction channel for honestly like 6 months. I just can't bring myself to do it. And part of it's because I've had slumps in uploading, and I'm like, I don't want to launch a Patreon when I'm not uploading. But then even when I'm uploading a lot and the numbers are doing really good, I'm like, am I doing this for like the love of it? Which is I am, because it's a hobby, and I would love to turn it into a job, maybe, I don't know. But and this is a topic that I talked about in my review of Inside a couple months back or whatever. I don't know, man. Like, do I want to like make money off it, or do I like deserve to make money off it? Like, at what level do I deserve other people's money? Like, I already almost feel bad because I have like donation requests, right? So if someone drops some money for me to listen to a song, like it's money that they've gone out and worked hard for, and then they're giving it to me to just like sit and listen to a song. Like, I don't know, being an artist and that kind of the I could do a whole video talking about this, honestly, so I don't want to just like sit here and fumble over my words forever. But that's my favorite Bo song. I'm just looking at time here. That's my favorite Bo song. And then we're good, I think. Okay, so now these are a bit of a mess. Fuck it, dude. Let's zoom through them. Let's zoom through these. New Math, Love. Okay. Welcome to YouTube. I don't know what bonus track even is. I'm going to put it in F just because I don't know what it is. So let's just put it there so that it stays for bell curve purposes, even though this is a disaster and not a bell curve. Yeah, I get it. My account doesn't exist anymore. I left university a year ago. But these are a mess because you got like Clan Cookout, Perfect Woman, Love Is, I'm Boyo's like somewhere around here. Oboe, and then these are the bonus of what? Hell of a Ride. So Sunday School's back here. 3.1 for Apple Pie, My Whole Family. Okay, so they're a little bit out of order. New Math. Okay, a lot of these are going to be... We're zooming through these. New Math. Couple little fun little punchlines. I like New Math because he was playing guitar in New Math, right? As he is in 3.1 for Apple Pie and a couple others, but he was on the piano a lot, so it was a nice little change for the guitar. A couple little fun little punchlines, a couple of bits that were like his writing at the time. This was like a way to kind of tell like, oh, he's a really good writer, because a lot of it was like, how did he even think to put these like words together and jokes together in the way that he did. I'll give that a B because I like some of the way he crafted some of it. Considering he was like 16 at the time, the way he wrote this is still pretty impressive. A love ballad. Okay. Now here's which ones. I think Helen Keller's The Perfect Woman, right? And then the love ballad is the one about the old lady that he falls in love with, and then she dies, and then he falls in love with her granddaughter at the funeral. Okay, a lot of these are very crude, and a lot of these isn't anybody gonna hold me accountable? I'm problematic. Like, that's what Problematic was talking about, was like a lot of this shit. And that's a lot of like, the scene in Inside where he's watching one of his old YouTube videos back and he's just like sat there watching it in disgust. So I don't know how he feels about a lot of these. I heard these when I was like 14, 15, 16. So they were funny as hell to me, and they were like, it was edgy and stuff. As a 22-year-old, there's a lot of it that's like, I don't know if it kind of hits the same, or if it's like, or just the kind of the landscape of how the world is with a lot of stuff like this. It's like, oh, he was making a joke about this thing. But at the same time, dude, Clan Cookout's kind of funny. Love Ballad. Honestly, a lot of these I'm probably going to go and see. Because it's tough, because like, I'm comparing them to the whole discography. On their individual merit, where do they rank? It's tough to say, but when I've just gone through his entire discography and I've talked about some of the absolute belters on Inside and on Make Happy, and now I'm comparing it to like, Love Is a real life porn minus all the stuff that makes porn cool. Like, it's hard to put that against his, how far he's come, because he's come so far. Love Is kind of funny. My Whole Family is hilarious, I think. Let's put Love Is in C. My Whole Family is really funny, especially for early Bo. His whole family thinks he's gay. That's the joke. Even my boyfriend thinks I'm gay. Just kidding. Ha. Funny. It's funny. I think that's a funny concept, and I think he executes it well. 3.1 for Apple Pie. This feels like it should be a C, but I for some reason just like it. I just like the sound of it. I like the way he uses his voice on that one. I like the guitar. I like his tone. Mother effing suffrage. I like it. I don't know why. I don't know if there isn't any particular punchline that I think hits super hard in that, or like it's like really funny, or like, really. I think it's quite slick. I think it's quite a slick song. For some reason, I just like the sound of it. Orally, I enjoy that one. Sunday School. What's Sunday School? Is that I'm Gay for Jesus? Because that doesn't. I'm gay for Jesus. Yeah, well, I don't see any. None of these are called that. Is that Sunday School? Is Sunday School I'm Gay for Jesus? Because those particular pages might be stuck together from a little bit of sinning I did last night. Again, I think that's kind of funny. I think it's kind of funny. I don't know. It's a little bit problematic, you know. So I don't want to. So like, I don't know. Maybe the presentation of it's a little. I don't know. It's a little crude and it's a little like I don't know if he'd get away with this now necessarily. And it's like, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. It's a bit on the nose. Like it's a bit of fun. He's like 16 and like it's not. It's hard to say, man. Some of these are like I don't know if I want to endorse too much because I don't even want to get myself in trouble just from being like, hey, Rehab Center for fictional characters is funny because people are like, no, it's not funny because it's like making light of rehab. Even though to be fair, I actually think this one is like one of his worst YouTube songs, so I'm gonna put that in D. Because I kind of think the concept is kind of funny. I mean, the title is the concept, right? You know, Father Christmas and Tony the Tiger and the Rice Krispie elf things. That could be funny, like fictional like children's characters being in rehab for like you know drug problems and shit. But I just think I don't know. I don't think any of the I just don't think any of like the punchlines really hit on that one. I feel like the punchline was he's doing Tony the Tiger talking about being like depressed about his job, and that's kind of funny. But then I don't know. I don't think the punchlines are really there in that. The Perfect Woman probably would get in trouble for saying anything about that one. The joke is it's Helen Keller. I don't want to get in Clan Cookout. Just gonna put that in the middle. C is my neutral tier. Remember, don't want to get in trouble, so we'll just put Clan Cookout in C because that's the neutral, no comment in the middle tier. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube is fine. I don't know. It doesn't really do a lot for me. Obviously, it was written for the show, right? Thank you, Miss Perry. And it was fine in the moment, and I think it did its job for what it was supposed to be or what he was trying to do with it. But it's it's not my favorite. And Boyo, look, I'm gonna put that in a similar as with Bo for show. And the greatest rapper ever, and whether you think you're clever or not. I at the time, I'll put that in B actually because the hook's really catchy. I think at the time I loved this one. I listened to this one a lot. Well, I say at the time of me discovering it, not when it came out. Yeah, as a teenager, I was rocking with this one. And Oboe, I'm gonna put Oboe in B because I was rocking with that one too. Single every single day, do it every single way, make the single lady say Oboe. HOAR doesn't do a ton for me, I'm going to be honest. High School Party senior year absolutely slaps. Boys and girls are all sipping on beer. I like soda. Where's the soda? Am I the only fucking person here who likes soda? See you from across the crowd. I said the party is booming and I'm really loud. I just like how it sounds. I like his flow on it. I like the storytelling. None of that happened because I wasn't invited. I like soda. Where's the soda? Am I the only fucking person here who likes soda? It's so funny. I don't know why. Probably because that was me because I didn't drink. Okay, now, okay, I'd be drinking up a storm right now. But I was late to drinking. I didn't start drinking until I was like, okay, well, like, I don't know, like 18 I started drinking. But I didn't start like drinking, like being drunk and drinking at parties and stuff until I was like 19, 20. So I was pretty late to it. So that was me at high school parties. I just think that's funny. I like this one. I think it's funny. I like the story. And it's kind of like, it's very kind of emblematic. Some of these feel like a lot of it was like, oh, here's the joke song, My Whole Family, The Perfect Woman. But some of them feel like he is actually drawing from his life and his like high school experience and stuff like, dare I say, Nerds or HOAR kind of, or a High School Party is like talking about that sort of high school experience, and that was like actually like a relatable song, but also relatable for him writing. And I think that kind of comes through, and it's like an interesting side of Bo, is high school Bo talking about high school things, because he was just a little kid at the time. Well, the little kid's probably a bit demeaning, but he was like 16, right? F, when I was like 16, was just an absolute slapper. I thought this shit went hard. This was like the hardest song I'd ever heard in my entire life. I was like, oh baby, you keep saying the F word. Obviously that wasn't why I thought it was hard, but just something, the instrumental for it, the angst in it. Oh, I was rocking with F. He says, fuck the Pope, dude. You can't say that. That's the Pope. Nerds is fine. That's a nice little concept. Solidarity with the nerds. Famous person being like, hey, I'm one of you. Although, I guess actually he wasn't really that famous. He was one of them. Well, no, Nerds was bonus track. F and Nerds, like, these were bonus tracks on what, right? So he was popping a little bit by this point. Channel 5 the musical? Yeah, that can be, we'll put that B tier. Funny concepts, funny idea. I think he executed it pretty well. Having a segment on obesity, talking about obesity in a segment sponsored by Taco Bell, and just that kind of like the irony of the news and how problematic it can be without even realizing. It's a musical. It breaks down, and then he does the weather bit. I like it. And it has like that the musical stylings. It sounds like a music, like he does it like a musical. It's quite like peppy and upbeat, and then it it moves around and it gets really dramatic. I actually think that one's quite well put together, and I like the concept. Hell of a Ride can be a C, because it's fine. It's another one of the rap songs. One of the last ones he did really, because then after Make Happy and onwards, he kind of dropped the rap thing. I don't know, it's kind of catchy, and it also has a similar like musical-ish vibe to Channel 5 the musical, but I don't think it's really a great deal beyond kind of catchy. It's fine. And on that note, then guys, okay, so here's the thing. Hello? Hello? I guess watching. It's not framed properly because I frame it for the small thing. I guess watching. That wasn't too bad, dude. Considering it took me an hour to do Inside, what's that, like sub 50 minutes for every other show and all the bonuses? Thank you guys for watching. Oh, I should have just like left this on the screen actually so you could see it for like longer. There you go. This is my tier list. Screenshot it. Tell me why I'm wrong. Remember, these are just my opinions. I used to say that at the start of every tier list video, but people don't care, so I stopped saying it. These are just my opinions. Oh my god, I have so many notifications. Oh lord. So thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go read phone stuff. Oh, phone stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all. Said that about 7 times. There you go. There's my list. I'll leave a link in the description to the Raw tier list, if you want to do one of your own, which you should, and you should share it with me, or not. I don't know. I'll have a look probably. I don't care that much though, to be honest. So don't feel like you have to. But if you want to, do sure. Joshua, Jacob, if you ever see this, you should do them too. Although Jacob, I don't think is actually ever going to watch them anymore because he doesn't know his family's Netflix password. But get it and watch them, please, so that you can do this. Do it for your friends, or just use my Netflix. I just want you to watch them. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all. I'll see you in the next episode. Right, later, guys. Bonk.